people that have trained for years and years and years, right? You not quite as Kristen as your parents. They're not fighter pilots. You've got people that are very normal, you know, like Gayle has been very clear about her emotions and her nervousness. We want them to have the support and the love of their friends and family.
And this is a moment that will change their lives forever. It is a moment, getting that chance to see the Earth from space is something that will forever change their perspective. They will come back slightly different people. And so for a moment like that, oh, and here they come.
Yeah, as
right
they're
by our stage.
right over our shoulder here is our set as we wave to the incredible women here. And each crew names themselves, right, Ariane? So this crew has named themselves the 6 that are taking up space.
Good luck.
Good luck. I love it. I love it. Well, I think what's so fun about this, to your previous point about this full experience and getting access to see them and send them off, it has to give them some comfort, right? I mean, you're going to do something that is so out of your comfort zone, that to see and to be around people that you know and that you love on your way out to the road to space is really special. And also just being here the last couple of days, you really have an appreciation that, yes, of course, the focus is on these 6 women, but I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the experience that I've had. Even you took us into mission control yesterday, and just meeting them. There's 10,000 employees here at Blue Origin, and all of the men and women whose lifelong goal it was to work at a company like this, and you know, all their schooling, and just some of the most intelligent people that you'll ever meet, and all the hard work. I mean, this is not a small thing that is happening, and all of these people have dedicated their lives to moments like this. And so I just want to make sure we acknowledge that this is such a group effort to put these women into space for the first time.
I should say, you know, of all the interviews and press that I saw Gayle King do prior to this launch, one of my favorites was Mae Jemison, the first black woman into space. And she made a very clear point. She's like, there's going to be lots of emotions on, I want to say game day, on launch day.
It is game day.
On launch day. But there, you can see she's got tears in her eyes already. And just know that you have some of literally the world's most intelligent people that are taking care of you, that are watching this rocket, not just today, that the energy that has been put into this vehicle over the last several years, the several months that have been taken to plan this mission, and in the last final days and hours as we check the vehicle, we only send them out there and only send them up into space when everything is ready. We take this very, very seriously. And as Kristen said, yeah, this feels like it's getting a bit routine, but every mission is not routine for us. We make sure that we take it seriously. It is routine, I should say, but it is...
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and our team is paying attention, and no detail is missed on the day of.
And there's a saying that spaceflight is a team sport. And, you know, it's not, there's so much focus on the astronauts, but it really is a team sport. And I think we really got a sense for that yesterday going into mission control.
For those of you just joining us, Carissa, Kristen, Ariane here, Tabitha with the friends and family, and then we see the astronauts here. They have loaded up from the Astronaut Training Center. They're in the Rivians, going at quite a speed, I will say, on the road to space, which
what a
is
shot. Look at that
really
sunrise.
beautiful. I was just going to say, which is such a beautiful shot there, the aerial view from our helicopters. But, you know, there's been conversation leading up to this, and I loved, Kristen, you had pointed out when you get asked, like, well, why do this? And you had said something that I thought was so interesting. It's like, well, then why travel? You know, you say it more eloquently than I do.
There is, of course, criticism, right? Like, why should we care about this? Why should we care about your average person, even though these women are not average? Why should we care about them or celebrities going to space? Or why should we even be going to space, period? And my answer to that is, well, why do we travel? Why go to Paris? Why go to London? Why go to Japan? It's because it does something to you that's different than just looking at a photograph. You experience it in a different way, and it changes your perspective. It makes you a better person. It makes you understand other cultures and civilizations and other people. It makes you have more sympathy. and you hear about the over come back to Earth, and is where you more, and you realize that we are all just one. So I'm excited to see what they have to say.
And I'm excited. Look, the moment has come here. So Ariane, walk our audience through sort of what happens next as they are approaching.
Sure. So they have just driven down the road to space, the 2 miles. They are going to go to the north end of that circle and jump out of their Rivians and take a cool shot, a photo that is, with the rocket in the background. Again, all of this is very tightly choreographed, and we want to make sure that they do this quickly so that they can get back in the Rivians, go back around the circle to the base of the tower. At that point, we're going to get them into the elevator that will take them up to the south tower. That's the one in the background. There, our crew, they are ready to load the crew into the capsule itself. This is safety is paramount at Blue Origin, so we want the minimum number of people out there next to the rocket for the least amount of time. So we keep it fast. We keep all these procedures tight.
But we got to do a quick photo shoot by the rocket.
I mean, looks so good.
It's history, you know. We got to capture that moment. And again, for those of you just joining us, this is something that I was not aware of. That beautiful rocket right there, News Shepherd, didn't come out until this morning, right? So explain a little bit more for those people that are just tuning in, sort of how the setup works.
Sure, that is correct. So at about 2 o'clock this morning Central Time, we rolled the vehicle out there. You see on the truck. With the capsule already what we call mated to the rocket. You'll see here in a moment the rocket, it goes very slowly, just want to make sure we take care of our baby as well. Goes out there, the truck will turn the vehicle vertical, and at that point we connect all the pipes and the hoses to the vehicle, and we start loading the vehicle with propellant. Right there, it's empty. That's for safety and security reasons. That's also, it makes it easier to turn vertical. We'll load the vehicle with propellants all the way up to the last moment. We put in there, you heard it earlier in our webcast, liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Those are the two propellants that fire into what we call our BE3 engine, our Blue Engine 3. And our team in Mission Control from that point on has got their eyes glued to their monitors to make sure that the propellants in the tank stay within bounds, within temperature bounds, within pressure bounds.
As they make their way here onto they'll take the elevator, right? They won't take the stairs?
That is correct. Yeah. So we just inserted the elevator relatively recently. It makes it a little bit more comfortable as you're going up to the top of the tower. You know, we're at about 3,000 feet above ground level in altitude up here in a dry, dusty desert. We just want to make it a little bit easier for them.
And it's worth noting, too, so the 6 women are headed up. We saw Jeff is with them as well, but also crew member 7. Explain to those at home who crew member 7 is.
Right. It's like, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to use a football reference
Please
for you,
do.
Erin. And we come, I called you Erin like your girl. Sorry. Oh, my goodness.
We're often confused.
Oh, my goodness. So it's like the 12th man. There's 6 crew members that are going obviously in the capsule, but nobody from Blue Origin will be in the capsule. Mm-hmm. It'll be the crew member 7 that has been training them. We saw Sarah Knights as the second driver in addition to Jeff Bezos. And then, a little confusing, we've got a second crew member 7 who is going to be on Capcom, or capsule communicator. Today, her name is Laura Stiles. She will be the person that is in our astronauts' ears, communicating with them, making sure everything's going okay, also telling them, hey, this is when you can unbuckle, and this is when you can...
That's her right there.
That's Sarah Knights right there, exactly.
And now we are looking at what?
So now the crew, as well as you see Jeff Bezos there, have gone into the safety shelter, and we're going to wait there. You see Sarah Knight's on the right. She's going to just communicate with the Blue Origin team that is at the other tower just next to the rocket to make sure that everything is set and sorted for them to do their final load. This happens very shortly here. We clock it at about T-minus 35 minutes, but we'll only do one already.
And in case some of you are wondering what a safety room is or why it's there, it's, again, what Ariane was talking about. You want to keep these astronauts as safe as possible for as long as possible. Of course, they'll be safe when they actually get in the rocket, but just in case anything were to go wrong, we had the chance to go inside this room a few days ago, and it is, I mean, is it a bomb-proof room? Do you want to say that? I mean, it is.
It is.
Yeah, and you feel it when you're in there. You're like, oh gosh, now
this
it
is
feels real.
Yeah.
And after going up that elevator, you know, for us, I think that's the moment where we weren't even going into space, and all three of us were like, whoa,
okay,
it gets real serious.
Yeah,
but I love the access that we obviously have in being able to see these women before they go up. For those of you just joining us, we are T-minus 34 minutes to launch for NS-31, Blue Origin's 11th human flight. As you can see there, a little live look in as them saying some words before they take off. So I know that we had started to expand upon it and then took a shot of the astronauts. So what will they feel? Sort of walk us through the physical part of what they'll experience, Ariane, once they are in the capsule.
So once they're in the capsule and they're ready for takeoff, first they'll hear the engine when it ignites. It sounds like a pop. Everybody, listening will also hear that. It sounds like a pop, and the engine roars. We hold the rocket down for about 7 seconds. Make sure it's all ramped up. And during that period, that can actually be one of the most, frankly, nerve-wracking times, because you start to, if you're in the capsule, you start to see the glow of the flame. And here they come.
Here we go.
Loading into the capsule.
And the significance here of the bell, and I should note before I have you explain that, each crew names themselves. They have named themselves the 6 taking up space, as each one is ringing a bell. And the significance of that is what, Ariane?
This is one of our traditions. All astronauts throughout history in various programs have had their traditions. For us, we always want our astronauts to ring the bell. Above there, you see, light this candle. Those were the last words that Alan Shepard said right before he went to space. Alan Shepard, of course, the namesake of our vehicle. He was the first American into suborbital space. And we just like to let the stars know that we've got some people heading their way.
Absolutely. As they load in, I will, in my world, we call it an audible here. Just if we have any sound from mission control or anything, I'd love to take a peek at what's going on in there and just give the folks at home some idea of what's happening there. There we go.
There we go.
So we don't have sound of it, but we can see all of the brain behind this beast.
But I could tell you, Carissa, other than a couple of discussion points on the radio, honestly, it's about this quiet when you're in there.
Really? That surprises me. Because you would think, like, in a control room in TV, it's a chaos, right? In the best way, but in there, it's quiet.
And honestly, chaos is, quite frankly, the last word I would use to describe our mission control. This team, they're working through very specific procedures on a very specific timeline. They've done their own rehearsals over and over again. We also want to keep the communication line open if anything, if anybody's got to call it out. But it is a very well choreographed team we've got.
And, when folks are wondering, what exactly 2 days of this space flight, done rehearsals and dry everything that you're seeing here. They practice over and over getting inside this capsule, strapping themselves in. And, one of the biggest things that they have to remember to do is when they get those, remember, they only get 4 minutes of weightlessness, 4 precious minutes. They have to unbuckle and then buckle back in at the exact right moment. So those are some of the things that they're learning to do and practicing while they're training in that building right behind us.
As we look at New Shepard 31, the 31st mission, the 11th human flight here for Blue Origin. We are T-minus 30 minutes. Carissa Thompson, Kristen Fisher, Ariane Cornell with us, and Tabitha Lipkin at the tower. I am going to be leaving here in just a few minutes. I'm going to go to fallback 3, an area. Then I will wait for the capsule to land. I'll wait for the recovery team to come out and then bring you interviews from each of our astronauts as they arrive back here on Earth. I cannot wait for that. Again, we've seen them load now into the capsule, and I just would love, you know, some more play-by-play, Ariane, of sort of what now this process looks like, as it's all new to me, and for any of you that are also joining us for your first launch, welcome. And now we'll let the experts tell us what's going on.
So you saw them loading. You saw them loading into the capsule. They are getting into their seats. They're getting into their harnesses. It's a 5-point harness, so clicking them all in.
All right, we're hearing that Capcom right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Ariane, which is short for capsule communicator, and ready to do the astronaut comm check. So let's take a listen. Laura Stiles has the mic.
Welcome back, everybody. We are at T-minus 26 minutes and 50 seconds to go until NS-31, Blue Origin's 31st mission for our New Shepard rocket, our 11th human flight. I'm Ariane Cornell here with Kristen Fisher at the desk. Carissa Thompson has left to get into place for her viewing spot for the launch. We are waiting on Capcom, or the capsule communicator, to run the comms check with our astronauts. But Kristen, we were just talking a second ago about, you know, what's going on here. We see our crew member 7, Sarah Knights, who's coming out of the capsule there. She has helped load our crew into the capsule, has done just a double check, making sure those seatbelts are nice and tight, as well as made sure that the earpieces and everything are set for our astronauts. I should note, just as we give kind of we got this beautiful aerial shots this morning of the rocket. We have these sunshades you see on the at the top of the capsule, that kind of white square. We've got one there in the foreground, and coming around you'll see another one on the back. Those windows are so large that it can kind of act like a greenhouse in there, and especially down here in the West Texas desert, it can get a bit toasty in there. So we've got some nice sunshade for their comfort.
And I love that we can see some of the crewmates inside the capsule as they're getting strapped in. I think you could see Lauren Sánchez right to the left of the hatch right there from that camera shot. So pretty cool that you can see them this close to lifting off. You know, Ariane, I have to say,
most
I might break in.
profound experience.
Jeff Bezos here.
Yep.
I'm so excited for you. I don't want to get off. I want to go with you. And when you get back, I can't wait to hear how it's changed you. I love all of you. See you soon. Godspeed. Gradatum ferociter.
And there you heard it. Some words of support from Jeff Bezos, founder of Blue Origin, also astronaut himself from our first launch. So, of course, Lauren Sánchez is Jeff's fiance, one of her supporters. Who, as we mentioned before, we've got lots of friends and family that are supporting the rest of the astronauts here. They are out at the viewing tower. Let's turn it over to Tabitha. Tabitha, have you had a chance to chat with some of the family members out there?
You know, a lot of friends and family have come out here, and it is an exciting vibe. I am standing by with two women who need no introduction. And Chris, I have to start with you. What is it like to be here, and what brought you all the way out here to this launch?
Well, Lauren and Jeff, we're here to support our girlfriend and our friends, and I never thought that we'd be talking to you from a space launch. For sure. So this is a really unique experience, and we're just so honored to be here to support them and watch this amazing part of history. And I'm so proud of her. And I just feel like
all of the female astronauts that are going to go up today. It's such a big day in history, and it's so empowering, especially my daughter is 7, and just to see something like this. And I mean, somebody said their grandfather was here that's 92, that they didn't even have transportation back then the way that we do now, and now they're going to space.
It's pretty amazing. That's Aisha's grandfather. 92 came all the way here.
That's where the story, I was like, I heard this story, and you know, he had no airplanes, nothing back in his day. Now he's seeing his granddaughter go into space. That's a beautiful thing.
really incredible.
And how does it feel also to be able to share this with multi-generations within your family?
It's really something. It's just Kim keeps writing us because she was supposed to be here with us, and she's studying for law school, so she had a big test that she had to take. Again, something I'm very proud of, but she just keeps calling, going, I have such FOMO, tell me every minute of it. So it's very inspirational, and just super proud of the girls, every one of them. And it's a very brave thing to do, and I think it also just says something, like Chloe said, to my 13 grandchildren. Yeah.
And what can you say to that too, for your children?
Oh, I just think it's really whatever you dream of is in our reach, especially in today's day and age. And dream big, wish for the stars, and one day you can maybe be amongst them.
That's so beautiful. And just before I send it back, any last messages to the astronauts before they take off?
I think just great luck. Be present. I mean, I'm so excited. I love the messaging that we keep receiving from the staff here at Blue Origin is don't film it through your phones, look through your eyes, be as present as possible. They will supply all the content that we need and to give to our families, but I love just being in the moment.
Yeah, same.
And we're gonna...
Excited.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're going to be in the moment too here. We're going to send it back to you guys at the desk, and we're going to start watching.
Love you, ladies. Good luck. Bye.
We had no idea that Chris and Chloe were going to be here, and we're about to be interviewed by Tabitha. So that was a nice little treat. They sure looked the part, you know.
Oh, they're ready for their day out here in Texas. I love it.
Yeah, and you know, for those of you watching, we're really in the middle of the desert. We're a solid 2-hour drive from El Paso. And as you were saying yesterday, Ariane, you know, you really get the sense, like, you start in El Paso and the more you get out here, you do start to feel like you're on another planet. I mean, it's got quite a moonscape, Marscape vibe. And our guests that are here today, as we just saw in Chris and Chloe, are dressing the part.
Well, so let's bring it back to the real stars of the show, our astronauts. And one of our astronauts that we haven't heard from yet is Gayle King. She has obviously a lot of emotions going into this flight. Let's hear what she has to say from this interview with Tabitha Limkin just a couple of days ago.
When I made the decision to come, there were only 3 people whose opinion matters to me the most. Favorite daughter Kirby, favorite son Will, and Oprah. That's my kitchen cabinet. And all of them said, I think you should do it. All of them, much to my surprise, including Oprah. I really thought she was going to say, nope, I don't think you should do it.
And she was like, do it.
She said, I really think you should do it because you've been talking about it. And when it comes back and you're not on it, you're going to be kicking yourself saying, I could have gone and I didn't. And I don't want to have to hear about it for the next few years. And, you know, I think everybody in this group is a storyteller and explore, and to be able to take this message and tell other people what it was like from our different perspectives, I think is very significant.
Do you have a message for the kids watching?
You should always know that no dream is too big. You know, we have someone, Aisha, who was told when she was a kid, your dreams are too big, you need to dream smaller. No child should ever be told that. And so I want people to know no dream is too big. And also, LL Cool J said this to me once, dreams don't have deadlines. Isn't that good?
That is real good.
Dreams don't have deadlines. I've never forgotten that he said that, and I believe that as well.
What are you taking up with you?
Oh, I have a bunch of stuff. I have Luca. I wanted one of his favorite toys, so I have a Sesame Street character called Tamir. Tamir is this little black boy with great curly hair, so Tamir gets to go to space. I have a wooden cross that you can hold in your hands. It fits like in 3 prongs. And a stranger came up to me at the airport. She said, I always hear you talk about being a nervous flyer, and I wanted you to have this. And so if you're ever on a flight and you feel nervous, take it out and hold it. So whenever I'm flying, I have this with me.
Also, I just noticed, what is this on your wrist?
So Jared, who's one of our jib operators at CBS Morning, his daughter, Denise, who's 7, made this for me. And she came into my makeup room and said, I made this for you. Someone else gave me Astronaut era.
That's pretty great.
Space Sister, Amanda just gave me this. I mean, so I feel that I feel I'm pretty well protected.
Absolutely.
I will say this, as excited as I am, I'll be very glad when we come back down. I will be very, very, very glad about that.
Well, clearly we heard Gayle there, and prior to coming down here in Texas, nervous and excited at the same time, but one of the things I like about this is that she just makes it real, you know? Regardless of who you are, this is a nerve-wracking experience, and the fact that she's so authentic about it, but also, more so, she is stepping so far out of her comfort zone. I think that in its own right is extraordinarily inspirational.
I think most people would feel the way that Gayle is feeling right about now.
I would.
If you're about to launch into space. You know, one of the things that I find so refreshing is that, you know, back in the early days of human spaceflight, you had the Mercury astronauts, and they were all white male military test pilots, and they all had to have the right stuff. You could never talk about nerves or being nervous or your feelings or stuff like that. That was the wrong stuff. But now, in 2025, it is the right stuff to be like Gayle King and talk about those concerns and fears and excitement that you have before launching into space like that. And that really shows you just how much the human spaceflight experience has changed over the last half century or so. And that really is what today is all about. I know there are some people watching this or who have heard about this who are thinking, why should I care about people going into space, you know? Katy Perry, a famous pop star. Why should I care about that? And the reason is, it's missions like this that really begin the process of opening up space to everyone, for all of humanity. That's what today is about.
And I think we have to, it's not just about today. Today is very, very important, but I think also one of the reasons that I love working at Blue Origin is we think in very long time scales, right? I honestly feel like I'm working at a company that will be here in at least 100 years. And that's how we think about space flight. Oh my gosh, look at that cute little kid. She is ready to go to space too. Aww. I absolutely adore that. But we need to be here precisely for kids like that. You cannot, I'm a firm believer that you cannot be it if you can't see it. And that's what this flight is for. It's about inspiring women. Oh, look, talk about inspirational women. Several female astronauts in that group right there. How many astronauts do we have there? I see 4 or 5. At least 4 or 5 and counting. It's a tight group that's only going to get bigger of those female astronauts there. You see Kelly Girardi and Cyan Proctor. I see Emily Calandrelli, Sarisha Bandla. I mean, just an incredible group of women that have gone to space already. And after today, in just 15 minutes, we are going to be adding 6 more to that group.
It's getting close, Ariane.
It is getting close. So with that. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us for NS-31, our 11th mission, human spaceflight mission to space here. We are at T-minus 14 minutes and 30 seconds, just to give you a little bit of a preview of what is to come. At about T-minus 10 minutes, we are going to have the go, no-go poll. We're going to throw it back to mission control audio. And basically what that is we go through each of the important subsystems, and our flight director, shout out to Michelle Christensen, our flight director, our first female flight director at Blue Origin. She is going to lead that poll, and we're going to go to each one of the groups and say, are you ready to go for this flight? Is your subsystem ready to go for this flight or not? And they will go around the room, and with the final go, no, go, it will be game time here in West Texas for this launch. Look at that. Now, this child is a little younger than you were when your parents went to space.
A little bit older.
Oh, excuse me, a little older, pardon me.
Yeah, because I was just 15 months old when my mom flew in space. And, I think about what it must have been like for her to be a first-time mom and training for her first space flight all in 1 year. And she was a part of NASA's original first 6 women astronauts alongside Sally Ride. Of course, it took them, those first 6 female NASA astronauts, 2.5 years for all of them to fly into space. Now, today, Blue Origin is going to send 6 women into space in a single day. I mean, that's pretty cool right there.
Incredible perspective. Also that, was your mom like just 6 months? You were just 6 months old when she started training?
She was assigned to her first space flight when she was 8 months pregnant with me. Can you imagine?
God, I have a 6-month-old. I can barely fly down to West Texas from Seattle.
She gave birth to me on a Friday and was back in the astronaut office on Monday. I don't recommend doing that. As a mom of 2 myself, you're a mom of 2, I probably wouldn't do that. But
respect.
She did,
Respect, that's huge.
But I've asked her, I'm like, why did you do that? And she said, because I felt I had to prove something. I felt that I had to, pave a trail for women to come. And so as I'm sitting here today, I'm thinking a lot about what she did, the sacrifices she made to make what's happening today. Again, it's not normal. Human spaceflight will never be normal or routine, but this is the beginning of making this kind of travel. We got 4 moms on board, a grandmother, making these types of people going into space very routine.
Now, talking a little bit about that, getting back a little bit into the flight profile and what they're going to feel as part of this now routine flight. So the 6 astronauts are currently in the capsule right now, all strapped in, ready to go. Their audio is working. We are waiting for the T-minus 10 here for the go, no go poll. At T-minus 0, you guys are going to, all of us will hear the pop, that's the ignition of the BE-3 engine. It holds down the rocket for about 5, 6, 7 seconds. Inside the capsule, they'll start to see the glow of the flame, and then they will lift off. They will take off. They are in a somewhat reclined seat, and they'll start to feel the G-forces on their body. And so kind of like sitting in a car that's accelerating, it pushes you back against the seat. That's the same here, except they're going up. They will accelerate to they'll have 3 Gs. So here on Earth, we're at 1 G. When you accelerate to 3 Gs, so like if you're 100 pounds, it feels like you are then 300 pounds. But Kristen,
that's crazy.
It's crazy. But in that reclined position, it's dispersed across your body.
Bad.
It's not as bad. It kind of feels like a weighted blanket. Oh. And then it
nice
eases
and cozy.
up. It's nice and cozy as it gets nice and dark.
I'll take a weighted blanket right about now.
But they're not, don't worry, it's going to get nice and dark, but there's no sleeping on this. They are going to have the most incredible view out of those windows. The capsule will separate from the booster. That's when they're going to feel weightlessness. They'll get the about 4 minutes to unbuckle, enjoy the weightlessness, enjoy the insane views out of those windows. They'll buckle back in, come back through the atmosphere. That's actually when they're going to have the peak G-forces. They peak at about 5 Gs.
Which is kind of counterintuitive. You wouldn't think that you would feel the max G-forces on the descent, but that's when you do.
But that's when you do, and it's kind of like, because you're coming back through the atmosphere, right? It's thin up there, you come back through the atmosphere, it's thick. It's kind of like diving into a pool. It kind of goes boosh against you at 5 Gs, but then it eases back up, and we deploy the parachutes, and they come floating down at about 10 to 15 miles per hour for a nice soft landing here in the desert. At the last second, there's an air cushion that comes out.
Go. Booster.
Here's gonna go, Paul.
Go. Ground. Go. Inco.
Go.
Safety. Go. Capcom. Go. Engineering. Go. This is the flight director. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence terminal count.
Protocol flight.
Yeah, baby. Go for launch. My favorite words.
It's getting real. T-minus 8 minutes and 51 seconds.
Until our 11th human space flight, the first all-female crew flight to space. All 6 of our astronauts are loaded in the capsule, waiting for just 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here. Now, Kristen, we just kind of walked through the flight profile, what it's going to feel like for our astronauts. Oh, we got Carissa up on the tower to chat with more friends and family. Carissa, who you got out there?
I don't need to introduce the incredible woman. I don't need to introduce the incredible woman next to me, who is a ray of sunshine. Oprah, you are wearing yellow because Gayle's call sign is
sunshine. Yes, right. And all of us, the whole family is wearing yellow today. And I, you know, we've been friends. It'll be 50 years next year. We've been friends since we were 21 and 22. And I have never been more proud of my friend than today. Never been more proud, because this is bigger than just going to space. I mean, I think for her, who anytime we're on a flight, she's in anybody's lap if there's the slightest bit of turbulence, has like real anxiety flying. And this is overcoming a wall of fear, a barrier. It's I think it's going to be cathartic in so many ways for her.
She told us that she was surprised that you told her to do it. Why did you want her to do this?
Because I think life is about continuing to grow into the best of yourself and the fullest expression of yourself. And I think that this is one of the most fullest expressions you can possibly have. And I know that I felt deeply that she would regret it. And I didn't want to hear about it for the next 15 years. I wish I had gone, you know. And I said, there's only one time that all the women are going up for the first time. You know, there will be other trips, but there's only one first time.
Incredible.
So to be a pioneer is great.
What was the last conversation you had with her?
I said, peace be still. Hold the God's unchanging hand. He's got your back. That's it. That's it.
I know that as we're counting down here, we're getting excited for that go for launch moment. How are you feeling as her best friend?
I feel so calm. I don't think I've ever been more calm, because I think it's already done. Once she said yes, once she committed to yes, and Lord, did we all hear, should I do it? Should I do it? Since Thanksgiving, we've been talking about it. And so once she finally said yes, I was like, okay, we're going. It's a go.
You know what I have loved is her vulnerability, because she's the voice of a lot of us that would be afraid, and she's okay to talk about being afraid. Why has that been so important to show that part?
I think, for every woman who's on this flight, it's about fulfilling something within themselves. For Gayle, it's about overcoming this great fear and also stepping into the moment of excitement. And I think, it goes beyond this moment of just going up in space. I think this will be an everlasting experience. I was just thinking this morning, Gayle has been there for me for hundreds of events. I can't even remember them, But you will never forget this day. None of us will ever forget this day.
Well, thank you for being here, for her, for us. I mean, this is just, it's a historic day, and it's only fitting that you are here front and center as a ray of sunshine that you are, Miss Oprah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're next, I'll send it back to you, Ariane.
Thanks, Carissa. Wow, to see Oprah down here. No, I'm not besties with Oprah, not yet anyway, but if Oprah told me to do anything, I would do it. I don't think Gayle had a choice after Oprah said, girl, you got to do this.
She had to do it. Ariane, we are under T-minus 5 minutes until these ladies hopefully launch into space. And, you were just talking about what these women are going to feel when they launch. But let me tell y'all watching what we may hear, because we have one of the most famous singers on the planet on board, and there is a chance that we will get to hear the audio inside and hear what these soon-to-be astronauts are saying and possibly singing while they're weightless. So
I can't wait for that moment. I'm also hoping she comes down to Earth and does like either a Fireworks Part 2 or E.T. Part 2. I think that's going to be, and I think, but let's stick on this point for 1 second, Kristen. I think one of the incredible parts about this crew is their ability to tell the story coming out of this in their own unique way. The way Gayle can go on TV and talk about it. Amanda can go and continue to advocate for women more broadly about it. The way Katy can sing about it, etc. The way Kerianne can produce films about it. That is what is so special about this crew in particular.
And that is what's so special about this new era of spaceflight. This is not NASA. This is not governments. It's not the U.S., China, or Russia. This is the commercial era. These are private companies, and this is Blue Origin sending the first all-female crew into space since 1963. And this is all going to happen so fast in just a few minutes, about 10 or 11 minutes from launch to landing. And don't worry, guys, I did the math. In case you're wondering, total duration of this mission is just about 3 Katy Perry fireworks songs. So play that song 3 times. That's how long this mission's going to be.
Fantastic. Well, so at T-minus 3 minutes to go until our 31st launch of New Shepard, our 11th human space flight. Just to tell you what's coming up here. At T-minus 2 minutes, we send the show over to the vehicle. It goes into autonomous mode.
Command engine controller ready to start.
We have our team, of course, in mission control that have their eyes glued to the screen there. There you goes, mission control, quiet and intense. There's one of our crew member 7's capsule communicator, Laura Stiles. She is communicating in the ear of our capsule, in the ears of our astronauts. But what we're going to see in the last 2 minutes, you'll see the fins at the base of the rocket gimbal or just move back and forth. We want to make sure they've got free range. At the base there, you see the nozzle, the engine peeking out. The engine as well is going to gimbal, going to move. Both in conjunction together, those two
Pressing
systems.
propellant tanks to flight pressures.
Those two systems guide the rocket.
And when you are out there at this moment, this rocket feels like it is alive. It feels like it is a living, breathing, hissing thing, right?
And there's the gantry pulling back from the rocket.
T-minus 2 minutes and counting. Transition to onboard hydraulic pumps.
And this right here is the moment that they've been training for. 2 days, becoming a crew, becoming a team.
after you go through an experience like this, it's more than a team. It's almost like a family. You are so tight to go through something as intense
Executing
as this.
aft fin built-in test.
And everything looking really good, Ariane.
So far from Mission Control, everything is clean and green for this launch. T-minus 1 minute to go here.
Engine thrust vector control built-in test in work. Vehicle is now on internal power.
So in a moment here, we'll see those, what they call the bit checks, the built-in test checks. As you mentioned, Kristen, inside the capsule, you know, as you said, this is like a bridled beast. This thing wants to take off.
Switch to onboard helium.
Here we go. Good luck and Godspeed, ladies. We're cheering you on from
Let's
planet
launch
Earth.
this
Thrust
rocket.
termination system is armed. T-minus 22 seconds and counting.
Guidance internal.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower. Flight. 6,000 feet climbing. Begin throttle down for Q limiting. Engine response looks good. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Mach 1, vehicle is supersonic. Engine back up to full throttle.
Supersonic, we have passed through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That's when the vehicle, the stresses between the atmosphere and the speed are at their maximum. So to punch through that is so important. You see the BE3 engines is firing beautifully. You see the stream of steam behind it. Those ladies right now are having an incredible view on their way to space. Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour. They're going to peak at about 2,300 miles an hour over Mach 3, 3 times the speed of sound. Shortly coming up, we'll have MECO, main engine cutoff. We will turn off the engine, but the two craft, the capsule and the booster, will continue their ascent to space.
Stand by, MECO.
And our...
And there you saw the main engine is turned off. We're now going to separate the capsule from the booster, and at that point, Kristen, that's when all 6 astronauts are going to start to feel the weightlessness, and shortly thereafter, we're going to let them unbuckle.
Separation is confirmed.
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent. Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
And the two craft is separated.
Put it up there. Put it up there.
328,000 feet, 100 kilometers. Welcome to space, ladies, or shall I say, astronauts.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon. Look. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, my goddess! That's our pink moon. I love you, Jackson!
And just in case it wasn't clear, those are the astronauts. Those are their voices that you're hearing.
And there, they have hit apogee, the highest point in flight, well over 345,000 feet, well over the Kármán line.
Wow.
And at this moment, the astronauts have unstrapped from their seats. They are floating. They are weightless. They are experiencing zero-G for the very first time in their lives. And Katy Perry did say that she was going to sing in space. I'm waiting for it.
Waiting for it.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
So that is Capcom indicating a 1 minute warning for our astronauts to take in those last views before they get buckled back into their seats. At
Oh my God, guys, look at that. Wow, it's so peaceful up here.
And you hear
Dragon. Report status. Copy. With report status.
And a great, all astronauts are back. That is the rocket that is screaming back around the capsule to its landing spot just 2 miles north of where it's taken off from. At the top of the rocket, you see a couple of fins that have popped out. Those are to stabilize the rocket as it comes into land. Shortly thereafter, you will see the drag brakes that deploy that will cut the speed of the rocket in half. And then in the last moments,
and there it is. We can see it from the stage.
There comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine. We're going to also see a sonic boom. We're going to hear that shortly here.
And remember, this is something that had never been done before until just a few years ago. Truly the stuff of science fiction that you're about to watch in just seconds.
Drag brakes. Booster touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard.
Picture perfect landing right there.
Picture perfect landing.
Right on target.
You see that dust kind of creates this dramatic cloud that reveals the beautiful rocket that has just taken these ladies up to space and back.
And I love the echo across the mountains. Is that what I was hearing there?
That's what nice you were hearing. You heard the sonic boom, then you heard the engine relight, and all of that reverberates in this big, beautiful valley in West Texas.
Stand by drogues. Stand by drogues.
All right, shortly here, we're waiting to see the drogue parachutes deploy from the crew capsule. Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes.
Just free falling right there until those drogues came out.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
And all 3 parachutes reefing, and they will slowly inflate, slowing the capsule to a nice, smooth 10, 15 miles an hour. They are cruising back home.
3 good parachutes.
And I tell you, Kristen, from having gone through all of the simulations, I have gone through all of the training. They put you in the capsule that simulates all of this, including the sounds, and when you hear the motors of the parachutes pop out, that is the best moment in flight.
Because I know Blue Origin does everything they can to make this as safe as possible, and y'all have an impeccable safety record, but it still has to feel really good when you know that you're coming back to Earth with those parachutes fully deployed.
And we can see the capsule just over our shoulder here, going to be landing north and east of the launch pad, coming down softly and beautifully. 500 feet.
And you will see a puff of smoke when it touches down, a puff of dust. That's normal.
A puff of dust, last milliseconds, air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Touchdown. Congratulations and welcome back to Earth. Do status check. Double shot.
Kristen, just some incredible images there. The capsule.
Copy. Welcome back. Feather.
Nice. Let's wait for Aisha just a moment here. Make sure they're doing health checks in.
Beautiful. Dragon.
Yes, and as you heard it there, everybody seemed to be just as ecstatic to be back here, back on Earth. Everybody appears to be fine. Beautiful shot there of the capsule down in the desert. As we were just saying, it looks like a tough landing, but it is an air cushion in the last milliseconds that just makes it even softer. I will also note the parachutes landed very close to the capsule. That's just an indication that there's not very much wind out here today. A beautiful day for a launch and landing. A beautiful day to add 6 more names to the roster of astronauts that have been over the Kármán line into space. What's the view from
As you guys, as with Orlando Bloom, as jump in the car to go meet pretty, and only imagine how these astronauts, now that we can officially deem them astronauts, are going to feel. I can't wait to get their reaction. We are headed out there now. I will check back in with you as soon as I have them.
Sounds good, Carissa. And as everybody can see, she is those recovery crews are screaming out there. So we actually send them out as soon as we spot the capsule. And there's little Rose, Katie's daughter, who is just Daisy, excuse me, who has just seen her mother go to space and come back. I'm sure she cannot wait to say hello. So, but as I was mentioning, the recovery crew is heading out there. We send them out as soon as we can see the crew capsule and spot the crew capsule descending. There will be at least 2 trucks that go out there. What you'll see is they will come around the capsule. We also have crew member 7 who's in there. She will run out, go around to each window, make sure that each astronaut is fine, and the recovery crews will safe the capsule before we exit the astronauts.
You know, it's hard to pick a favorite moment, right? Launch, landing, it's all good. But the moment coming up might be my absolute favorite, right? It's the moment the recovery team gets out there, then all the friends and family, and we get to see the astronauts emerge from the capsule, and we get to hear what they thought from the last, 10 minutes or so that they were up in space. And I think one of my favorite things that I've ever seen in covering space, certainly with Blue Origin, was that moment for William Shatner, Captain Kirk, as he emerged from the capsule. And this is exactly why you want to send people that are not just professional astronauts into space. What he said was so moving that day.
100% agree. But it's not just the astronauts that are here that are being moved by this event. We've got Tabitha that's with some of the friends and family out there. Tabitha, give me an update from the viewing platform.
I mean, not a dry eye in the stand, I tell you right now. Chloe, I just want to know from your perspective, that moment, what was it like?
I don't think I realized how emotional it was going to be, and I literally had chills all over my body from the second it launched until the moment I just saw it land. And it's sort of hard to explain because I don't think you would be that emotional, but it's incredible. It takes your breath away. And I feel like I have all this adrenaline and I'm just standing here.
Right? It's very true.
Same. It's really, first of all, we're so thrilled that the girls are safe and everything went so well. And so that's a relief because, I'm sure there's a lot of nerves up there, but to hear the girls screaming and having such
they said they saw the pink moon.
Yeah.
I heard the audio. I was like, that is the coolest thing. I cannot
exciting.
wait to get the footage from inside
and
to see
hear.
that.
I want to hear every little emotion that they had, and we can't wait to see the footage from inside.
What are the chances? The pink moon, the rocket launch. It's so exciting.
It's a great day.
It's been a pretty phenomenal day.
Great morning.
So when are you guys going up is the real question.
Oh my gosh, I don't know, but this made it a little more enticing. Never.
Right.
That's what I thought.
You can go on behalf of the rest of us, but
thank you.
I think we'd all drag you off of the tarmac before we let you go up. But I like you being an observer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we love being able to share this experience with you, and thank you for sharing how you feel out here with our audience. So it's been really, really incredible. So yeah, the emotions are high because it's so exciting and energizing. And gosh, Kristen, Ariane, I don't know what to say. I did cry. I didn't think I was going to cry, and I cried.
Tabitha, I love you putting them on the spot there. Chloe and Chris, are you guys going up?
Keeping up with the Kardashians in space. We're waiting for it. That's the all lady launch. Well, thank you so much, Tabitha, for that. And you could see that, you can hear that, you can hear from Tabitha. Even she is emotional and has tears in her eyes. When you're down here for one of these launches. And Carissa, when we get her back on the line, I'd love to hear her thoughts on this. The intensity and the energy and the emotion out here, even though you're in this remote place, but it all gathers here in this valley, and it's really intense. No matter how many times, I've seen all 31 of our launches, it gets me every time.
Well, anytime somebody says, I don't get it, what's so exciting about space? Come to a launch. Come see a launch in person, and then you'll change your mind. And, I'm just, as we await the moment where these astronauts emerge from the capsule, I'm reminded of what William Shatner said on his mission. He said, "What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I hope I never recover from this." And I love that. I hope I never recover from what I just experienced. And one of the neat things about this is these women were not in space for several days where they had time to get acclimated to it. They only got 4 precious minutes of weightlessness. And so that high, that feeling of, ooh, I want more of whatever that was, is still so fresh. And you really get to see that when they step out of the capsule.
We catch our astronauts. I mean, their minds are still in the process of being blown when they come out of the capsule. And Carissa is going to capture those moments for us shortly here after we get our recovery crew. You see there some of the friends and family have already started lining up there, while the recovery crew, you've seen some images. As I mentioned, they're safing some of the systems on the capsule. We want to release all of the excess air and gas that created that nice air cushion. We'll remove the parachutes, make sure nothing gets tripped up. Also, we reuse those parachutes. And then crew member 7 will take the stairs up to the hatch. It's like a good 3.5-ish feet off the ground, so it just makes the getting out of the capsule that much more comfortable. Crew member 7, last but not least, crew member 7 will open the hatch, and we'll get to see one by one as these lady astronauts now exit the capsule.
And a lot of people are probably familiar with seeing, NASA astronauts or Russian cosmonauts emerge from a spacecraft after a long-duration flight on stretchers or, glorified. They need some assistance because they've been exposed to zero-G for so long. Not these astronauts. They're not going to need any assistance. That's one of the beauties of a suborbital spaceflight. You feel great. You don't have to deal with space sickness, right?
Exactly. And that's, to that point, this flight, because you're basically going straight up and then over the Kármán line and straight back down. Some astronauts, I think you mentioned your mother may have experienced a little sickness up there. You don't in this one because it's just once up and once down. And you get that nice zero-G floating sensation and you buckle back in. You don't have it's not as extreme.
So do you have an astronaut that you're looking forward to hearing from the most?
It's really hard to pick.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm a huge Katy Perry fan, so I'd love to see what her feelings are. Also, as a mother, our kids are close in age. What does that feel when you have young children? You saw her get so emotional in her pre-flight interview. Is that still the weighing emotion, or is she still just, oh my God, I saw the stars, I saw the curvature of the Earth? What's going to come out of her mouth, but really her heart?
And is that Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is correct. That is Jeff Bezos, our founder, on the left, as well as Sarah Knights, our crew member 7. And I just want to thank our viewers for joining us. NS-31, New Shepard's 31st mission to space, our 11th human space flight. From all parts of this flight, for the booster, for the capsule, for our astronauts, a completely successful flight, one of the smoothest flights we've had so far. And we're now just awaiting the opening of the hatch so we can get some views from our 6 new astronauts.
Phelps.
And I would imagine Lauren Sánchez in seat 1 will be coming out first.
That is correct. They'll go. She's in seat 1, which is next to the left, the left window there. She will go first. And then last in number 6 is Kerianne. That is the window on the right.
Side canyon.
You see those vans arriving. Those are friends and family.
And that's Kerianne looking out the window, in the window to the right there. Lauren Sánchez on the left, and you really get a sense for just how big these windows are. I mean, when you're inside this capsule, it's almost as though you're getting a full 360 panoramic view. One of the cool features of this capsule, the largest windows of any spacecraft.
So over a third of the surface area of this craft is windows, and that's on purpose. There were many meetings with our founder, Jeff Bezos, where our engineers brought him some windows. He said, nope, make them bigger. They come back. They said, nope, that's nice, but make them bigger. And what you get here, why is that so important? So many of our astronauts have said, when I got on my seat, I looked outside my window, and I turned around, and I looked at the other 5 windows, and my brain created a panoramic view, a panoramic photo of it, because so much of the capsule is windows, and it makes for just an incredible experience.
Sarah.
Good? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here goes Jeff Bezos to open the hatch.
She didn't really close it again. Come on out, guys. Let's see your babies.
Where are my babies?
They're over here. Go see them.
Where? Oh, we have to go
Right
there.
there.
Okay.
Katie!
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Amanda!
I just have to have a moment with the ground. Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second. Thank you, Jesus. Oh my God, that was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm so proud. So proud of you.
Oh my God.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Kerianne, we got your people over here.
Come right around the bushes here.
Come on. I can't hear I have no, it's not working. So someone just tell me when we're on. Does anyone have our app?
All right, and you just saw it there. All 6 astronauts coming out, all ecstatic. Katy Perry and Gayle King both kissing the earth. Very happy to be back down here, but clearly ecstatic. I don't know about you, Kristen, but my favorite was Lauren coming out and saying, "Where are my babies?"
And I also loved Katy Perry holding a daisy, I believe, and holding the daisy up to the sky after her daughter Daisy. Sweet moment.
With that, let's turn it over to Krista Thompson standing by outside the capsule.
I don't really have words for it.
Oh my God, Lauren, I want to cry just seeing you.
I'm so proud of this crew. Like, I mean, Gayle, we were just talking in the capsule, doesn't even have ear piercings. She's so afraid to do anything. And she got in that capsule, and I think, like, it profoundly changed her. I mean, for me, I can't put it into words, but, like, I looked out the window, and we got to see the moon.
And it was pink. Was it pink?
Full moon. It wasn't pink, but it was almost full. And Earth looked it was so quiet. It was just quiet. And
is it what you expected?
No.
Better?
Yeah. I don't think you can describe it. Because, what I was saying, it was like quiet, but then also really alive. And you look at it and you're like, we're all in this together. Like, that's all I could think about is like, we're so connected, more connected than you realize, because you just see right here, you see like, you know, states and all these things that like divide us, but we're not. And
what is your emotion? What makes you emotional?
Joy. Complete and utter joy and gratefulness. Like, it makes me want to come back and just hug everyone and be like, oh my God, we're in this together. Like, that's what this is. And
Jeff had told you that it will change you more than you know, and I know you're only a few minutes removed from the capsule, but I can tell already.
Emotional.
Yeah.
To be this I'm like, I don't cry that often. So I didn't expect to be this emotional, but it's also all the love that was in that capsule, and all the heart and the feelings and all the things, and like seeing Jeff before I left, I just went, oof, like, you know, I had to come back. I mean, we're getting married. If I didn't come back, that would be a bummer for me.
Only you, by the way, would say this to me. You said, Jeff, if you don't want to marry me, you don't have to send me to space.
Don't have to send me to space.
What an incredible experience for you. But the fact that when you're in there, we got to hear some of your audio, but give us some of those moments when you guys, just from the second you took off to the second you landed, describe, if you can, for us what we didn't get to hear.
It was a feeling of joy and like and camaraderie. It was a feeling of gratefulness. It was a feeling that we're doing this. And you know, Alan Shepard, I told you about this, did this same exact flight, and he became the first American in space. And he became the first American in space. And 6 women just did the same flight that he did.
Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I hope that more people get to see this, because I feel, I don't even know how much it's going to change me. And I want to thank the Blue team. I mean, look at them. I mean, they work so hard to make sure this vehicle gets up and safe. And
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's one thing to say you're going to do it. It's another thing to actually do it. And I know there's a phrase in your family that life takes off on the other side of fear. And here you are, just having landed back on Earth. And now you are officially, Lauren Sánchez, already adding to your extensive resume, you are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm excited to share it with the world, and I'm so grateful to everyone here.
I love you. Go be with your family. But
to process and download what just happened to me.
Well, get on in here, Amanda. Someone that can now articulate exactly how Lauren is feeling. Lauren being so candid about overcome with emotion. How are you feeling? I know, Amanda, this has been a dream of yours, a long-awaited dream, and now it is finally official. You are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You know, I usually have nice words to say, but in this moment, I just want all survivors to know that you can heal. No dream is too wild, and that if it's so wild out there, like going to space, you can absolutely make it through, and it can absolutely be possible.
You mentioned to us prior to going up, you said that you needed to go to space to heal. I know you're only a few minutes removed from this incredible experience. Do you feel healed?
You know, I had a zero-G indicator that I didn't know if I would bring, and I ended up bringing it.
Okay. And explain for the folks at home that don't know what that means, what it is that you're holding.
Yes, the zero-G indicator is something all astronauts have that floats once you hit space, lets you know you're there. I brought a promise that I wrote to myself. I've talked about that.
And share for what is this right here?
Yes, and this one I didn't know if I would bring, but I ended up bringing it and floating it, and it's the hospital band from the day. And I got to honor her today, and I'm so grateful to the thousands of people, the engineers, the scientists, just everyone who has made this a reality.
And you also have written here, I know that you had this on your laptop, right?
Yes, that's right. And this is my zero-G indicator, a promise I made to myself that if I were to pause my astronaut dreams, and fight for rights, that one day I would return to her.
And it says, never, never give up. Well, those dreams are no longer on hold. You are finally an astronaut. Congratulations. Enjoy this moment with your family, and thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you, Amanda. Kerianne, you said to me yesterday, you said, when I get out of that capsule, I'm going to be an emotional wreck. And I think what I will just say, for anyone that has never had the great privilege of being here, this is my first time at a launch, and it is very emotional. Describe, if you can, how you're feeling.
I have almost no words. It was the most incredible experience of my life to be up there and see like such vast darkness in space and look down on our planet. The moon was so beautiful, and that was like, I felt like that was a special gift just for me. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. Are you kidding? You just went to space. You just went to space. This is it.
Like knowing that everything, like everyone I loved was standing down there looking back up at me, and I just hope that these types of experiences, clear a path for everyone to be able to do that.
You told us a beautiful story about your son when you told him you were going to go to space, and that, get over here so I can hold you, and that he went back to school and he was all excited to tell his friends that his mom was going to space, and they said, your mom can't go to space.
Moms don't go to space.
Well, guess what? This mom just went to space. Congratulations. You are officially an astronaut. And I know you're wearing a very special necklace from an incredible group of people that you hold near and dear to your heart. What would you like to say to them watching?
I'm wearing a few necklaces today. My dear friends threw me a blast-off party and gave me this feather, which obviously represents the Blue Origin logo. And it felt so special to have it close to my heart. And in space with me. And I feel like it helped me take all of them with me on this journey.
Yes. Well, I will let you go enjoy this historic moment with your family, and thank you for sharing it with us. Congratulations. You're an astronaut. Gayle, get on over. I'm still
floating. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I'm so proud of you. And I know that I speak for the collective, because you have been so honest. You've been so vulnerable. And I spoke to your best friend prior to you taking off, and I asked her why it was so important for you to do this. And she said, she said, so she didn't have to hear you say, I wish I would have done that.
That's so true.
But now, Gayle King, you are officially an astronaut. How do you feel?
I still can't accept that word, but I will say, I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride. What happened to us was not a ride. This was a bona fide friggin' flight. And our instructor, we were so well prepared. So every noise we heard, we knew. But the flight instructor said that I am her best success story. Why? Because she's never had somebody go through the course who's terrified of flying. Everybody who's gone through the course is somebody that it's been a lifelong dream. They wanted to do it. So she said, I'm her best success story. I'm so proud of me right now. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I was just going to say, prior to the launch, you said that you would be so proud of yourself if you went through with this. And you did. What was the best part, Gayle?
It's oddly quiet when you get up there. It's really quiet and peaceful. And you look down at the planet and you think, that's where we came from? And to me, it's such a reminder about how we need to do better, be better. Do better, be better human beings.
And what do you mean by that?
Processing. Well, it's so nasty and so vitriolic nowadays. And I mean, if everybody could experience that peace that we had up there, and the kindness and what it takes to do what we did, all the people that it took to get us up there and get us back safely, I'll never, ever, ever forget. And when we were up there, have you talked to Katy yet?
I have not.
Okay, when we were up there, after zero G is very difficult. All the training about this is how you get in the chair and this. I look like a friggin' moose getting in the chair. It was like, just let me get in the chair. Let me get the seatbelt on. But, we had a very do this.
How would you describe it?
it's very difficult because you're floating. But the best part was when we got back in our seats after 0 G's, Katy sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Oh, come on.
She sang "What a Wonderful World." I see
Did you just all
dreams.
start
Oh,
crying?
yes.
Oh.
Because we'd been asking her to sing all the time, and she wouldn't. And then, because everybody said, "Sing Roar, sing Fireworks," and she said, "It's not about me. I wanted to talk about the world." Wow. I know, isn't that nice? You got to ask her about that.
That's really special. And when Lauren got out, she was overcome by emotion for a lot of reasons, and rightfully so. But she spoke to the group and how close you guys have all become because of this experience. How would you describe the camaraderie that you guys now have together?
I would say that we are forever bounded, because you can't go through what we went through to look out for each other, to help each other, and not be changed by that. You know, it really is a true. People throw the word around, but it really is a true sisterhood. Mm-hmm. But it speaks to how we were set up for success. The training was so, I can't stress this enough. The training was so friggin' good. We were set up for success. And it went exactly as they told us it was going to. Mm-hmm. Every boom that you heard, the drones, the drogues coming out, the parachutes coming out, it went exactly as they said.
Are you glad you did it?
I am glad I did it. Yeah. I am glad I did it.
Yeah.
I am very glad. I have no regrets about doing it.
What would you say to people watching right now that are scared, that are fearful of anything? What would you say to them?
Well, I just said I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone, because this is so not like me. I said up there, I might now get my ears pierced. I've always been afraid.
Which is great. I love that you've never had your ears pierced.
No, even Hootie at the training center. You don't have your ears pierced? I go, because it hurts.
Oh, my gosh.
But I mean, for people that are afraid, Eleanor Roosevelt once said, courage is doing something that scares you, but you do it anyway. And I stepped out of my comfort zone in a way that I never thought was possible for me. Mm-hmm. And now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything. Anything.
Congratulations, Gayle King. You are an astronaut.
Thank you, Chris.
I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. And I'm going to go with you to get your ears pierced, because I want to get another hole right here. Go enjoy this with your family. Thank you so, so much. Aisha, oh my goodness. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are officially an astronaut. How do you feel? Also, how do you look perfect after just going to space? I mean, my goodness.
I will never be the same. I mean, when you get up there and you see the Earth, and it's so beautiful, and it just fills the screen, and it's not just your window, it's like everybody's window, and there's no boundaries, there's no border, there's just Earth. Wow. It's incredible.
You know, Gayle is so honest that this wasn't her dream, but this was a dream of yours. How do you feel now that you just achieved it?
Like I picked the right dream. And when we landed, I said, Exuma, I'm good, blue calm, but I'm ready to go back.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What was the best part for you?
The best part for me, actually the whole thing. But we got in and we counted down from 10. And then I started to hear some singing. And when we lifted off, everybody, you could just feel the energy in the capsule. And when we got up there and we got out of our seats, we all just looked at each other. And there was this moment, and I can't wait for people to see it on the video, but there was a very special moment between all of us. And it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yes. Where is your grandfather? Your 92-year-old grandfather, who I know you were so excited to bring. What did he say to you when you got out of this capsule and got to see him for the first time?
He said, I was really worried for you, but then Oprah squeezed me.
Oprah has a way of making us all feel just a little bit more at home and a little bit calmer. I know your father is watching down on you, and he is your angel. What do you think he's thinking right now in heaven?
I think he was like, woo! To have the opportunity to have flown his star in my flight bag and to have a perspective that very few people get to have of Earth, I just feel a renewed connection to everything in life and where we are, and I can't wait to go back out there and pour what I've learned into the world.
You have given so much to so many, and I know there are a lot of people watching right now, some young boys and some young girls that are inspired constantly by you. What would you like to say to them?
Dream it, plan it, and go and do it. I never really thought I could go to space, although I really wanted to go. And today just confirmed that dreams are real and sometimes reality is wrong.
And your dreams just came true. Congratulations. Go enjoy this with your family. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Katy.
Of the group.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Feeler of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
We had these incredible shots of Daisy watching you as the rocket, it'll make me cry, as the rocket's going up, and she was so proud. Just kept saying, Mommy, Mommy. And I know you'll feel the same way when you watch it. And you brought a real life Daisy up.
That's
it was
right.
important for you, not only because it's your daughter's name, but why else was that important to bring it?
Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition. They go through cement, they go through cracks, they go through walls. They are resilient, they are powerful, they are strong, they are everywhere. Flowers are, to me, God's smile, but it's also a reminder of our beautiful earth and the flowers here and God's smile and the beautiful magic that is everywhere, all around us, and even in a simple daisy. So to really appreciate it and remember it and take care of it and protect it.
Gayle shared with us the song that you sang when you got up there. What a wonderful world. Why was that important to sing that particular song?
I've covered that song in the past, and obviously, like, my higher self is always steering the ship, because I had no clue that one day I would decide to sing a little bit of that in space. But I think that it's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it. This is all for the benefit of Earth.
You have done so many incredible things in your life, selling millions of records, selling out stadiums. Where does this experience rate for you?
This experience is second to being a mom.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why it was hard for me to go, because that's all my love right there. And I have to surrender and trust that the universe is going to take care of me and protect me, and also my family and my daughter. Because, like, I am full up from being able to get that gift of being a mom. And to go to space is incredible. And I wanted to model courage and worthiness. And fearlessness.
You did. You said you wanted to go to space for the fearless women in your life as well, your sister and your mom. Yeah. What was their reaction when you got to see them after you got off the capsule?
I have only seen my mom, and I was like, "Are you okay, Mom?" She just knew. She knew. She was totally okay, and I'm sure she was speaking in tongues underneath her breath, as she does all the time. She would do that for anything else, but definitely today. But she was so super confident. My mom, she has this thing where she can see. I mean, even down to the name of, like, the capsule.
Being tortoise. I know you spoke to all of your fans about that the capsule's named tortoise, the feather on the side, the symbol of Blue Origin, all of those gave you confidence that this was the right thing for you to do, correct?
Yeah, because I just asked for a sign from the heavens, from my angels, and they're like, well, here's the feather, which is what your mother calls you, and if that's not enough, the capsule's named Tortoise, which is the second nickname that your mother calls you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going. Yeah. I got the message, and I'm going to get the message.
Before I let you get back to your family, I just have to ask you, describe for us, because you're so brilliant at putting words together and describing moments that we can all appreciate later. How would you describe the moment when you took off and then the moment you landed?
The moment, I mean, it is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different
tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process, this is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour. It's really incredible. Now I know I'm asking this question for your fans. Will you write a song about this experience?
Oh, for sure. 100%. And not only that, I got to reveal my set list for the tour on a butterfly. How apropos.
Incredible.
Just flying in space. I don't know if anyone's ever
in space.
I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, so I'll just
Well, there's a lot of things that you have done first. You are now officially an astronaut, and let me just tell you, on behalf of everyone here at Blue Origin, our webcast, and everyone, all of these individuals that put this incredible thing on, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your experience.
It's a 10 out of 10. That's my review.
10 out of 10.
You definitely go for it. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Katy. Congratulations. All right, you guys, so many fun moments that we'll continue to see as we get the footage. But I'm going to send it back to you and let these incredible astronauts enjoy their time with their friends and family.
Thank you so much, Carissa. Wow. Kristen, I mean, 6 inspirational women in their own right. Eloquent. I could not be that eloquent coming down from space. You heard Katy Perry saying 10 out of 10, but number 2 experience only to being a mother. What were some of your takeaways from what we just heard?
Gayle King used the word sisterhood. I'm feeling the sisterhood today. First all-female crew to space since 1963, and that was a solo mission, Valentina Tereshkova. And I'm with an all-female broadcast team here at Launch Site 1 in Blue Origin. Ariane, it has been a complete honor to work alongside you. It has been such an honor to watch all of the things that these women and their loved ones have said about what this experience means to them, because I am a firm believer that if you don't understand why people come out here to watch a space flight, it's just because you haven't seen a launch yet and you haven't been a part of this experience. And I truly believe what we witnessed here today is something that will continue to open up spaceflight and this experience for all of humanity and our little ones at home.
100%. I said it earlier. You can't be it if you can't see it. And to see these 6 women go up and the roles that they have played before, but I can't wait to see the roles that they play afterwards in their way of telling this story for the world to hear, to experience, to see. This is just the beginning. So I want to give a shout out to them, because as you saw, that is coming out of your comfort zone, whether you wanted to go to space or you're like Gayle and you didn't anticipate it. Thank you for trusting yourselves and to their families and trusting their loved ones with Blue Origin. We are very proud to do that. I'm so proud of Gayle King, too. I wonder if she's still afraid to fly on airplanes after flying to space. Have we cured her of her fear of flying? I don't know. We've cured her for getting your ears pierced. So there we go. Baby we'll take steps. That one. Let's start with that one after this not so baby step. Aw. Look at that beautiful shot. And now the party starts, right? Can we pop some champagne and celebrate a little bit later? Let's do it. It's only 9:20 a.m. It's not too early. 5 o'clock somewhere, baby. All right. What an incredible day. Just for all of us, for our astronauts, for our Blue Origin team. It was an honor to fly you to space. And if you would like to follow in the pioneering footsteps of these astronauts and purchase a seat to space, visit BlueOrigin.com and click Fly to Space. Your own journey to visit the Kármán line is much closer than you think.
Have you ever dreamed of going to space? A once-in-a-lifetime journey is closer than you think. To book your flight, visit blueorigin.com and click Fly to Space. Tell us as much as you can about yourself. Once we receive your inquiry, our team will reach out to guide you through your journey. It's your time to join the new generation of astronauts.